what's really the fascination for women behind this rock star iconic figure, the groupies and that entire culture? Where's that coming from?
That the woman should answer.
I agree.
I have no idea.
I think women like bad boys. To put it very simply. Yeah, I think it's just they're complex characters, aren't they?
Yeah, but then sitar players are
Equally
complex
complex
characters.
too.
I don't. But then women do fall for them as well.
Yes,
as
they
you know.
do. They do. That they do as well. I guess it's just not just about the music. It's the personality. It's everything else that comes with it. I guess that's what makes them so. It's an attitude. I think it's more than when you're talking about a rock star. I think it's more about the attitude and the way they look at things that makes them so attractive.
Fantastic, super. On that note, I'll throw the floor open to the audience.
Just one little point.
Sorry.
That this is something else I learned about Imtiaz, that he actually started off learning vocal music, classical vocal music, and he ran away from his classes. He was telling us the other day. Maybe he should quickly tell you why he ran away from classical music.
Sing us something if you really want to.
Okay, with some musical accompaniment, huh? I'll start a rag
Table hai
now.
na?
No, I used to learn Indian classical vocals when I was very young. And the problem was that it used to happen at the same time that I'd go down to play cricket. So ultimately, over a few months, etc., cricket won. I think I must have learned for a year, and of course, I took less than a year to forget everything. Yeah, and thank God, I think I
learned
would have.
Rag Bhairavi.
I learned.
Or Bhairav. You were very
Bhairav.
particular. So you said you
Bhairav.
learned Bhairav.
Bhairav and this Bhopali. These two rags I had learned first. Then there was a third one which I don't remember the name of also. So I don't know which one that was.
So fantastic. I guess music's loss has been cinema's gain and literature and journalism's gain. So on that happy note, round of applause, and we'd like to take questions from the audience, from the media people. If they have specific queries, please. I think we can take 3 or 4 questions. We try to wrap by 8 o'clock.
Anyone with questions? Anyone behind? Mike?
Come out, show yourself.
You're getting away with that stuff.
Come
man.
out, yeah.
What's the next book about?
Playing it safe.
Meenal is here. I don't want to start talking about it. She was generous enough to let me be while I worked on the many drafts of this book. So I think I'm not going to start talking about the next book right now.
No, I'm asking because I have to run away. Because of what you went through doing a 13-hour job and writing the book at night. So, it's madness for her and it's hell for us. So, I want to have advance notice of when's the next one.
Fabulous. Thanks for that. Meenal, can we have one from you?
Did you have any conflict about bringing in autobiographical elements in the book?
A lot of it. At first I thought it was the easiest thing to do. Draw from your own experiences, put a lot of yourself into the book. But once you've finished writing it, you're so scared of how it is going to be received, because suddenly you look at it. I don't know, I think it's a lot of people say this, that it's almost like you've given birth to a child and you watch the child grow up and you see a lot of yourself in that child and you don't know how it's going to turn out. So and so it was. I was filled with a lot of conflict, and I had lots of I had a lot of self-doubt, and I didn't know how much more I could bring into more of myself I could bring into the story and where to stop. But eventually, I sort of stopped thinking about the consequences, and I just let the story take its own course. But yes, it was quite difficult.
Congratulations, I'm really proud of you. Second, who are your major literary influences? And your 3 favorite books?
Oh God, 3 again. I grew up reading a lot of Tagore, like a lot of Bengali girls. I mean, Bengalis would too. So yeah, he's been there somewhere at the back of my mind, and so that's there. Later, I think I have been reading all sorts of things, and I am into graphic novels as well, and all sorts of influences. So I really can't count a particular person as being the most significant, literary influence in my life. Yeah, but that's it. So I really can't put three names at least. So.
What books do you have for your?
Right now? Right now? Okay. Right now I have an illustrated retelling of the Mahabharata, which is by Devdutt Patnaik. I also like, epics and myths and that sort of a thing. So that's always there at my bedside because, I've been reading it for a really long time now. So I hope to finish it soon. And I have a copy of my book by my bedside. Yeah, and most recently, not most recently, there was another book that I read, and I, not because she's my boss, but Meenal's book, Death in Mumbai. I think that was also a fabulous read, which I finished reading some time back. So yeah.
Journalists usually do non-fiction. How did you why were you drawn to doing a novel?
Why would I, as a journalist, sorry?
Stick to
non-fiction.
Yeah, so why were you drawn to doing a novel rather than
I always wanted to, and I think non-fiction requires a certain discipline which I don't think I have yet. And because this is a story that I had to get out of my system, because I cannot move on to anything else. I realized as a writer I couldn't move on to anything else before getting it out of my system. So that is why I chose fiction and not non-fiction as my first book. Maybe down the line I'd like to go back to, I'd like to explore non-fiction as well, because being a journalist, as you said, that it's something that, that's always very attractive for us, because, you know how to structure things, you know how to do your research and that sort of a thing. But yeah, for the first book, I think it had to be this.
Yeah, Surya. Okay, on that note, we'd like to thank a couple of people. We'd like to thank the publishers, Amaryllis. We'd love to thank Crossword for hosting the event. Imtiaz, thank you so much for sparing time and coming over. This event has been... Somebody's thanking you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. No, I'm sure most of you know this event has been rescheduled several times. I'm actually just standing in for Rajiv Masand, who's in Doha for the film festival. So I was just pulled in last minute. So thanks Imtiaz for making it. Thanks to Meenal, because your name's here. Look at me. Thank you all for coming, and it's been a great evening. And we'll just conclude here for the moment.
Thank you so very much, Arjun. Thanks a lot. We'll let everybody in the audience know we have copies of Chandrima's book right here with us for those who would like to get their copies signed. It's just right in front.